everyone. Today I have another sneaky hard lower body slider workout for you. This workout flows one movement into the next. We'll kind of break it into three main chunks: a sliding back lunge, an open sliding warrior lunge, and then a single leg plank knee tuck. And within those three chunks, we'll do lots of different variations of each exercise. Your goal is to move continuously throughout the entire 6.5 minutes on each leg. That being said, if you need to modify, just pause the video when you need a break, shake it off, and then get back into it. For equipment, all you're gonna need is a single slider, or I use a dish towel. If you have carpet, you could use a DVD case works, or magazines work. Get creative. As with all workouts, you want to make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background because I want you to be able to listen to whatever you like. So if you don't have a playlist or a TV show queued up, you might want to get that going. And with all that said, I'm going to give you a preview of the sequence, a little quick sped up one, but don't worry if you don't catch it all because I'm going to be guiding you through everything as we go. Oh, one thing, apologies, I had mic issues. What else is new? So I'm doing a voiceover throughout this, but the first few minutes you'll notice my mouth does not match up with what is being said because I didn't realize that my mic had died. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so again, sorry about the busted mic, but don't worry, I'm going to guide you through this. We're going to start on our right leg with a back lunge. So I want your left foot on the slider, right foot steps forward. Weight is going to stay in that right heel. Square your hips and hinge forward with the torso. So your shoulders are going to stay stacked over that front right knee. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, start. You have 30 seconds here sliding down and up. Now, throughout this entire workout, it's not about speed. It's not about how many reps you get in. I want slow, controlled movement. Now picture your body as a diagonal line from the top of your head to that back left heel. So notice my shoulders are stacked over that front knee throughout the entire range of motion. In a few seconds, we're going to meet at the bottom and we're going to take this into a knee slide, holding low on the right leg. Next time down, hold low. So you're going to bend that back knee in and then you're going to straighten the leg out. So there's no up and down movement. Button hips down and back, knee stacked over heel, and shoulders stacked over knee and heel. Now make sure you're not shifting too much weight into that back foot. So your hips should be level to the floor. You might need to hitch your left hip up a smidge. Coming up, you're going to hold low with that back left leg straight to start. And we're going to exaggerate the lean forward with our torso, elbows wide, fingers by your ears. Meet me there. Now we're going to bend that back knee, and as you do, you're going to lift your torso. So think of your body kind of like a lever with that back knee creating the movement. So as the left knee bends, torso lifts up, and then as you straighten that leg, you pitch forward, exaggerate that lean. When you're doing that lean forward, picture someone's kind of pulling your hips back slightly. So notice there's not a lot of up and down on my right leg. Final few seconds here, and then we'll go back to our full range lunge. Give me 3, 2, back to that lunge. Arms can go wherever is comfortable. Hips behind your back, in front of you. Just make sure that you're keeping your chest open and you're not rounding your shoulders forward. So we just slightly slide the shoulder blades down our spine. In just under 10 seconds, we're going to go down to the bottom and hit our variations again. It is going to start with that same sequence, okay? Meet down low. Next time we go into those knee slides. So back knee draws forward and then you straighten it out. You're here for 30 seconds. Remember, we're trying to keep our hips not just square forward, but also square to the floor. So your left hip draws forward a little bit and picks up a little bit to match your right. Big lean forward with the torso as you do this, but core is active. We have that torso hinge, that kind of dip hinge coming up next. Straighten out your left leg, elbows wide, fingers by the ears. Exaggerate the tilt forward with your torso, and then bend through the knee as you lift your chest. So you're coming into a split lunge position and then pitching forward over that front leg. Try to almost bring your chest parallel to the floor. It's not going to get all the way there, but as close to it as you can. Lifting and then pitching forward. Remember, stay low on the right side. We have a hold coming up to finish. You're going to hold in the split lunge position. Chest is lifted, both knees bent. Hold, and I want you to pulse it out. 15 seconds. Up an inch, down an inch. And make sure you're not just pulsing down to the left side. So the right hip leads the pulse, keeping your left hip level with it. Up an inch, down an inch. Almost there. We got Warrior Lunge coming up now. Now into Warrior Lunge. Nothing changes about your right leg. I just want you to spiral your back left thigh open, but stay on the ball of that back foot. So your right knee is still tracking in line with the middle right toes. Don't let it cave into the inside of that big toe, but our hips are open at an angle. You want light weight in that back foot, and you still want to hinge forward with your torso. So very similar to the first lunge we did. We have a hold coming up. Get ready to meet me at the bottom. And we're going to do those same knee slides, but with this outturned leg. So in order to do this, you need to lean forward a lot with the torso, shoulders over the front knee. And I would recommend bringing your hands forward. And then you're bending that left knee in and out, but keeping the hips open. So think frog legs in this position as the knee draws in and send it wide, squeezing through the seat. We're going to go back to full range in 10 seconds. Give me a couple more. Could you get 1 inch lower on that right side? Back to your Warrior Lunge, up and down. So as far as what direction your torso should be facing, it should still be facing forward, but it can be at an angle, so forward to the left a little bit. Don't open your chest all the way up to the side though. So think more Warrior 1 than Warrior 2 if you are familiar with yoga. Second hold coming up in 5 seconds, and we'll go back to those open knee tucks. All right, hold your next one down low. Hinge forward with the torso. Weight stays in your front right heel. Left knee bends in and out. You want to stay as light as you can through the left foot. So maybe this is a small range of motion. Try not to transfer a bunch of weight into the left side. We got a variation coming up. Get ready to straighten out that left leg and drop the heel. And we're going to hinge the torso. All right, drop that back heel. Arms reach front to back, and you are hinging forward, so your right hand goes towards the inside of that right ankle, and then you bring your torso upright while maintaining that sturdy base through the legs in that Warrior Lunge position. Hinging forward and bringing it back up. Good. So as you do this, don't dump your right knee forward. It's staying stacked over the heel. Little hinge, forward reach, and come up. Almost there. We're going to make our way into a plank up next. All right, hands are going to come down to the floor. Switch which foot is on the slider. So right foot slider, and I want you to crunch your left knee in like a frozen mountain climber and pin it there. And now your right knee is going to bend in and out for our single leg knee tuck. You're keeping the hips at shoulder height as you do this. Now to modify, you can hook your left foot on the right heel. It'll make it easier, but we're so close to being done with this series. So can you fight it out with your left foot hovering? Get ready to pull that right knee in under your hip and hold. Now advanced, straighten your left leg behind you and just hold this position. Your thighs should be talking to you. You got it, under 10 seconds. Breathe. Don't pike your hips up to the air. Last 3, 2, 1. Done. Awesome work with that. You have 60 seconds to rest before we do it on the other side. And on the other side, you will not have to watch my mouth move differently from the sound you are hearing. Okay, same sequence, same order, just on the left leg coming up. You'll notice the clock starts with an extra 15 seconds on it. That's just because at the very end of this, we're just going to hold a plank so that we end centered. All right, your right foot is on the slider, your left foot is forward. We have that back lunge to start. Square your hips, So that back right hip draws forward, squeeze your seat. Now hinge forward through the torso slightly, shoulders stay stacked over the knee. And let's go. So 30 seconds sliding down and up to start. So when you hit the bottom, to get to the top, I want you to think of driving that left heel into the floor as if you could push it right through your floorboards, and that creates the upward movement. This lean forward with our torso is going to help us more effectively hit the back side of the legs, so the hamstrings and glutes. We have our first round of that lunge hold with our back knee slide coming up in 3, 2. Next time you're at the bottom, hold low, and your right knee is going to slide in and out. Check in with those hips. They're not just square forward, they're level to the floor. So I want you to think of picking that right hip up just a smidge, keep it level with your left. You have 10 seconds to go. Could you sit any lower on that left side? We have that hinge coming up. Get ready to straighten out your right leg. Exaggerate your lean forward, elbows wide, fingers by the ears. As your torso lifts up, your back knee bends into a split lunge. As you straighten that back leg, big hinge forward with the torso. You're trying to get your chest almost parallel to the floor, but without rounding through your upper back, okay? So think of sliding the shoulder blades down your spine, staying really broad across those collarbones. There's barely any level change on that left side. Get ready to go back to your lunge in 3, 2, 1, back to your lunge. So just how we started with, up and slowly down. Doesn't matter the arm position, arms behind your back, at prayer position, on your hips. Just make sure that you are keeping your chest open. If you're feeling a lot of pressure in your back right hip flexor, you might be too lifted through the chest also. So just a note, that hinge forward helps relieve tension across the top of your back right hip. Get ready to hold low. We're going through that again. Back knee slides in, straighten out through that back leg, holding low on your left side. So if you look at me, my shoulders are staying stacked over the knee and both are staying stacked over the heel. We have that hinge up next. Elbows wide, fingers by the ears. As you bend that back knee into a split lunge position, chest lifts. So there's no movement in the slider. This is a stationary one. You are holding it in position as the back knee bends, torso lifts, and then that leg straightens, sort of pitching your torso forward. Picture someone's gently tugging your hips back, and they're staying square. Good. In a few seconds, we're going to hold the split lunge. We're going into those pulses. So you're going to bend your back knee, both knees bent to opposing 90-degree angles, and let's pulse it out, up and down. Now keep your hips level as you do this. You might need to pick your right hip up a smidge. Lead with your left hip. Sit down and up. Good. Coming up next, we have that warrior lunge. Nothing changes about your left leg. We're going to spiral that right thigh open. So coming to the top of your lunge, hips are open at a slight angle. Torso can also be open at a slight angle, but we're not opened completely to the side of the room. Now I still have that lean forward with my torso, and that's going to help me keep weight out of my back right foot. Let's check in with our front left thigh. Think of gently spiraling it open and outward, just so the knee stays tracking in line with your middle toes. It's not rounding to the inside of that big toe. Okay, knee slides. Hold it at the bottom. Back knee comes in and out. You're here for 30 seconds. It helps to have your arms in front of you, as I am on this one, just so we can stay really light through that back leg. And remember, we're still outturned, so kind of think of a frog leg position as the knee draws in and you straighten it back out. Final few seconds, we'll go back to our warrior lunge in 3, 2, straighten out your back leg. We're coming up to the top. Make a fist with your left butt cheek at the top and then send it down to your low lunge. Second round of those open knee slides coming up in a few seconds. And remember, keep your back heel lifted for those, okay? We got to stay light through the back foot for these. All right, hold at the bottom. You're still open through the hips. That back knee bends in. It's slightly outturned, and then you straighten it out. Now, the back leg is outturned, but we are square through the front leg. So just check in. Knee is stacked over heel and tracking straight ahead. We have one more warrior variation. Coming up on my count, you're going to straighten out that back leg and you're going to drop the heel. In 3, 2, straighten your right leg, drop the heel. You're still in that open warrior stance and start to tilt. So windmill arms. Left hand towards the inside of that left ankle. Bring your torso upright. Tilt and lift. Now, there's no movement and we are not really using the slider because our heel is now down. But I still want you squeezing through the seat. Tilt with control, lift back up. Almost there. Hands are going to windmill down to the floor. You're going to meet me in that single leg plank. Let's go. So switch which foot is on the slider. Left foot slider. Crunch your right knee into your chest like a mountain climber, frozen in place. And then your left knee is going to bend into tabletop and back out to that single leg plank position. There's no piking up and down of the hips. To modify, hook your right foot on the left heel. Get ready to hold the bear plank position. You're going to slide the left knee in and freeze it under your hips. Good. Now extend your right leg behind you if possible. Hold. That left knee is just a couple inches off the floor. You got this. Knit your ribs together. On my count, don't drop out of this, okay? Both feet on the floor. Just hold a regular plank to center off in 3, 2, hold your plank. If wrists are bothering you, you can come to forearms, but try not to drop to your knees. You are so close. 10 seconds. You got this. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes, press the floor away, long through the spine. Give me 3, 2, and you're done. Awesome work with that one. Hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, you know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts here every Monday. I'll see you guys next week.